All right, and we can start the show. It takes a while. I see. No worries. And, well, to be fair, Discord for some reason gets a little weird when it comes to streaming on my end. I always have to leave and then hop back in. But, anyways, here we are. Crypto Fear and Greed Index is at a 10, has not changed from yesterday, despite the fact that we got a massive move to the upside. Market open is happening. I don't know what's happening right now, but let's just look at what our fundamentals say. So looks like on the 1 day, price action's closer to this cluster of long. So I do think we're gonna get some downside, which is due. However, we do have a nice, we still have a nice amount of cumulative shorts to the upside. So that does give me confidence that we could, um, back and forth. Uh, Hello, welcome. Sorry, name's a little hard for me to pronounce, and I don't want to butcher it, but thank you for dropping by. Uh, if you do have a romanized way of like saying it, like you know how in the dictionary, it like ways to for you to pronounce it easier, just let me know if you'd like to be shouted out or referred to. But yeah, thank you for. You can say saudade. Did I say that right? Saudade. Sa Sao. Lovely. Okay, I'll remember. So thank you for dropping by, Saudade. And we can see here on the 7 day, our longs have finally outgone, sort of surpassed our shorts. So yesterday, when we had a look at this, the shorts still reign supreme, right? Even on the 7 day. But now the longs have reclaimed the 7 day, going to the 30 day. I do believe the shorts are, yep, the shorts are still outpacing the longs. So we do have potentially some more move to the upside. You can see some late shorts coming into the market as we speak. Current price 67905, so we could be dumping right now. Like I said, I haven't seen price action at the moment, but everything else will just say that shorts are dominating from the 30 day up to the 1 year. Going to our RSI heat map, 4 hour is in neutral, but let's go to the 12 hour. I find that to be a little bit more useful for our purposes. Still neutral. We do have some coins that are sort of weak relative to everything else. You have Bitcoin Cash, ZEC, Ton. Ton has been weak ever since yesterday, so it might be time to maybe look at Ton. Right, we do have some coins, shitcoin like Pippin, just in strong. Of course, it's in strong. Um, 24 hour ENA, Arbitrum, OP, BCH, IP Say. So quite some interesting coins that are still in week on the 24 hour. So I am biased to go for upside, at least in the short term to medium term. Long term, I do think we are going to dump. What is that website? Oh, it's CoinGlass. So it's free. Anyone can use it. They even have a mobile app, so you can go ahead and download CoinGlass. I use this because it's obviously free, and it kind of does what Bookmaps aims to do, right? You just have to keep refreshing here, whereas Bookmaps is live by the second. So yeah, I prefer to just go with this because it does essentially the same thing. And if you're doing swings, right, for scalps, I do see why you would want to subscribe to Bookmaps, but for swings, this is much better. It's free. So yeah, just coin glass. Looking at our liquidation heat map, so on the 24 hour, you can see we do have a hotspot here at 67,440. Hate that number, but you know, it is what it is because we are ranging at around 60,000. So we do have a hotspot here at about 67,440, but the main hotspot we're looking at is 69,748. So I do think we can go up here. Now, because of the trend that we have, of course, TA is going to be better for us when doing trend analysis, but this does look like a downtrend. So we might see some liquidations of longs first. Let's go to the 48 hour. I think it's going to be a very similar story. Yep, 67, 69. The 3 day. Yeah, you can see the longs now outweigh the shorts massively on the 3 day. But on the 1 week earlier, we saw that the shorts still outweighed the longs, and at least in terms of leverage, that is true. Oh, it wasn't. No, the 1 week longs outweighed the short. My bad. Let's see if the 2 week shows anything useful. So 2 week does say 71 or 62. Let's go to the 1 month. So that's what we saw earlier. 1 month says 85. Now, it's important to note that while these are targets, it's possible that if you get to this region, these guys decide to chicken out and they leave, they take their profits, and then we head back down. But what is interesting is that the 1 month on our map, I should probably extend this, corroborates what we saw with our leverage, where there is significantly more um, liquidity to the upside, and that incentivizes a move to the upside. With that said, we are now finished with our FA. Welcome, Aldo. And let's actually jump into the TA because that's the exciting part. Okay. 5 minutes does not look great. uh, this is pure manipulation right here, but it is what it is. Yeah. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you being here. So this is the current candle that we started. You can see that we did get to our point of interest here in the 5 minutes, but we got rejected off of it, and yeah, we're dumping. But really, we don't really want to trade in the first 30 minutes to 1 hour of market open, because you get candles like this, which are just pure manipulation. It's just everyone trying to get their orders in, and you never really know what the true move is. I mean, if this closed here, absolutely that is bearish. But because it closed with such a long wick, right? That just tells you there's buying pressure here. Someone bought over here, and now we're getting a translation of that on the next candle. On top of that, we are at major, well, at least the signals here are very confusing. So you have a bearish prime block, but the delta or the deficit is bullish. So there were more buy orders, which tells me this is more of a pain zone, right? Here on the 5 minutes. A pain zone is essentially a point at which the market had a lot of orders. People were going in long, and then the market moved one side, so they moved short, and now you're stuck here. But yeah, looking at our higher time frame of the 1 hour, and we'll do a little bit of macro analysis after, once the chart's a little cool, right? We can see we did fall below the zero line, and we are trying to go oversold with our MVP ribbon nearing our fluid zero line. So it's possible we do get a bounce at this point. If you do traditional pattern analysis, maybe you can see that this is sort of a descending wedge. These normally break to the upside, and this is what we drew yesterday. If you guys were here, hey Malvi, welcome. But yeah, this is sort of the inverse head and shoulders we were talking about, and it played out. We reached the top part of our descending channel. So if I go to the 4 hour, and I know this is a little bit messy, so let me turn off the indicators so we can see that better. Right, we got to the top part of the channel. We broke out, but we failed to break out fully. Right, this is a very interesting move. You don't see this that often. Right, you break out of the channel. Usually there's a continuation, but you got a sell off, and now you're sort of stuck at the top part of the channel. And you can see you are in a descending wedge based on the 1 hour. Now, if you look to the left, doesn't look like the candle's doing too good, so we're gonna have to just wait it out and see what happens. Hey, Water Dog, welcome. But yeah, we're gonna watch this ascending wedge. This normally does break to the upside. This is a bullish signal or a bullish pattern, but you know, there's always a chance you capitulate downwards if you have enough force. But right now, not sure if that's gonna happen. Momentum, although bearish, is overall bullish. So let's see how this plays out, because you are if you do crash, you would crash on the POC. You also have to test your dynamic reactor down here. Then you have the midterm support of that descending channel and a prime block. So we have built a lot of support below us, and of course the 5 minutes decides to be an absolute dick about it and close. I mean, it's not terrible. It is pretty bad, but you still have a lot of wick there. Right, you did print a hidden bearish div, so that's not good, but it is what it is. So as promised, let's look at some of the macro, our macro environment TA wise. So this Bitcoin fell out of the channel, everyone knows that. we did print a blue reversal triangle for last week, and we are leaving a big wick. Now, if we close, hold on. Sorry, I don't know why my voice got gravelly there, but is what it is. Uh, you can see that if we get a close like this is a bottoming candle, especially if you have even just a tiny bit of green body. Of course, you want a bigger green body, but if you close even up here to maybe 68.5 for the week, then you basically have a reversal confirmation because you got the wick down here, you got another wick, buying pressure. If you close green, I can see us going up to maybe 76.5. If we break above that, we can retest the channel at 82. And your chick magnet does say 86. That's sort of the macro that we're looking at. Let's look at the likes of Ethereum right now. So Ethereum, unlike Bitcoin, did successfully break above its descending channel here on the 4-hour, which is big kudos to Ethereum, right? But we're likely going to see some sort of retest back to this FVG. I mean, it's perfectly spotted right here. So for those who weren't able to go long here, you most likely will get a retest for Ethereum at around $2,000, right? That's the FVG most traded volume. You're likely to get some sort of answer there. So I could see us capitulating really quickly for the day and then testing this, bouncing off, going back up, considering that we have just been getting a lot of sell pressure here on the 4-hour chart. Let's go to micro, see what's going on. Excuse me. So, I mean, your 5 minutes does say you want down, right? Does say you want down. And this is an ascending channel on the 5 minutes, which isn't fun. You don't want to see that. So that does seem to indicate we want downside. But similar to Bitcoin, right? If you go to a lot of coins right now, they're displaying a lot of descending wedges. Technically, oh no, this is a descending triangle, which isn't good. This one's a little bit more bearish. You don't want this. This typically will break to the downside because you're essentially retesting support multiple times and your resistance is getting lower. Now you could break to the upside, right? It could be a squeeze, but these typically break to the downside. So you can see that top part of your channel that we drew also is an FVG here on the 1 hour. So that's how we sort of look for our confluences when trading, and that tells me we shouldn't be too worried if we do get some downside, because a lot of people on the retail space, even on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, right? They're just going to flip flop and flail. They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, Bitcoin's up 10%, woo!" And then when it's down 4%, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Bitcoin's going to 0." So, we just have to keep our emotions in check. The data does say we could break to the downside. Not only from a candlestick perspective, you also have your CPO plus wanting to go down, right? Bearish volumes incoming. We see a transition, bearish trend strength, also seeing bearish momentum. But the moment we touch this fluid zero line, and if we bounce, I would be confident of a move to the upside. Because, I mean, look at your money flow, right? You can, and that's what I love about our indicators too. Look at this. As soon as our money flow went red, we got this massive move to the downside, inverted head and shoulders. When we got to this point, our money flow changed, and now we're seeing significant money inflow into the space. Taking a look at Solana, I do believe it moved back to, it touched 90 very briefly. And you can see that the 1 day did print a peak seeker, so that's pretty good. And like Ethereum, I do think we want to retest. Now, we could retest the channel at 85. We could go down to the point of interest here. But generally, all of our coins are in retest mode. So if we're going to scalp today, we might be looking for a short. Oh, well. And maybe I should have scalped first. Talk later, but... Okay, so we are bringing down to the downside. Now, because Bitcoin failed to break out of its descending channel, I'm not sure I want to use that as my primary metric to determine where we might want to go long. So I might use Ethereum instead because this one's a little bit clearer to me. Now, because the move has started, I'm not inclined to hop on in and market short, but I am inclined to potentially take a long here if we reach it in this session, which would be great. If not, that's cool too. But yeah, I'm not too worried. We can extend this further, just so get it nice and easy. Oh, yeah, that could be a decent retest. 67.3. So we haven't touched the FVG yet. It's still untouched. Yeah, and this is using the regular chart prime indicator. But yeah, what I'm more curious and more interested with is how we're gonna close for the weekly. If we close green for the last week of February, that would be pretty good for us, because that would translate to a monthly close with a fairly long wick, right? Now you could continue down, but typically, or let's go back to a February, right? So in February, when we had a monthly close, it was pretty strong. Now, that said, there was some sort of relief rally back up. So you can see this capitulation 3 months straight of red. Then you got some sort of recovery. Now, we're not getting that, but you can see we have 5 months of red, which is absolutely insane. But there is a recovery that's supposed to come, and yet we still haven't gotten it. So if we draw this, that's about a 27% recovery. So from here, if we're sort of charting that, we can see that a 27% recovery would place us at that point. So not only the chick magnet, but also what we saw earlier about your liquidity hotspot. So I do think that we could get a relief rally to about 85,000. Then we capitulate back to the downside following this, and then we can accumulate from here. So the 4-year cycle has been proven. I wonder if the next 4-year cycle will come to fruition, but that's a matter for a few years from now, and hopefully we'll still be trading together by then. Okay, let's go back to the 5 minutes. Okay, wait, let's go here. So we are touching that. Are we touching it on Ethereum? Not yet. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Now, if you guys have any coins you want me to look at, just let me know. Especially if you guys are holding any spot bags, or you're trading a position right now and you want my thoughts, just let me know. I'm not gonna bite, I promise. Now, our market dynamics did print a measured move down here, but we did go oversold here on the 5 minutes. Granted, our 1 hour still wants downside, so I'll just wait and see how our 1 hour closes. I do want a lower close just to get the FVG here. Looking at Bitcoin, let's see if it breaks structure. I mean, it's 5 minutes. I think it's going to be very similar, right? So let's just wait it out. Oh, it should. I mean, the thing about the the products, right, is that they should work universally, but on they'll work better on some assets. I do believe the check magnet works better on stocks, right? So, for example, if I pull up a new fresh chart, uh, I don't know, it's called fresh two. Why not? uh, okay, we can pull up something like Apple, and we can look at it from the 1 day, and it'll work. Excuse me, with varying degrees of usefulness. So you can see that here, so long we've always been trading above the 200-week moving average. Yeah, it's a little colorful at the moment, but you can see that it does work, right? On the 1 day, you went oversold, you bounced. Now you did capitulate a little bit down, but generally, if you bought spot here, you would be up in profits right now, right? If you handle that 5% drawdown, 1 to 2 risk to reward, right? We can look at further examples, such as over here, when we touch the 200-week moving average. They're gonna work for anything basically. We can also look at um, Tesla. Palantir is also a decent one that I like looking at with this. It also works on. It doesn't even have to be U.S. stocks. It works on Korean stocks. So, uh, shoot, I changed this, but this used to be because I was looking at my girlfriend's dad's Korean stocks, but it is what it is. But you can see you get pretty decent information as well. Money flow divergence right over here, hidden bullish divergence right over here, followed by consolidation into expansion, and yeah. Can you do this on Blowfin? Can I? Um, I'm not entirely sure if Blowfin carries some stocks. I know they have Tesla X, which is more of a spot version of stocks, but I do know you can use or you can do stuff like such as XAUT, USDT. So this is gold. This is tokenized gold. You can trade it on Blowfin, and yeah, you just have to explore your exchange, see what the library has. Personally, I do trade precious metals through Blowfin as well, and we can see that there is that 1R capitulation that gold is looking to do according to market dynamics. However, I do think this is sort of a weak capitulation, right? I need a little bit more data before I want to go short. So yeah, just explore the library, but you can trade stuff other than crypto on exchanges like Blowfin. Other exchanges I know that you can trade tokenized stocks would be BTCC. So I know what would we call them? Tesla USDT dot P. Da, 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 da. So yeah, BTCC. Oh yeah, Bluffin has it. Tesla USDT dot P. So yeah, Bluffin has. You can trade Tesla on Bluffin. I'm not sure if you can trade Apple. Yeah, no, it's not here. I guess it's on Mexi, BitGet, BitMex. So yeah, just check out your library's exchange. The one thing you do want to be critical about when trading tokenized stocks is that they will follow US the the stock markets open and close. So with crypto you can put in your orders any time of the day because it's 24/7, but with stocks it will follow the open and close of the market. So you're basically stuck at 9:30 if you want to open something for Tesla. You have to wait 9:30 a.m. EST to get that. Yeah, hope that helps. But yeah, let's go back to Bitcoin. So we did touch the FEG. 1 hour is about to close, so we are getting um, a refresh. Now, what I do fully expect, right? If we close really strong, we could possibly retest back into this FEG and then we can head up. Well, actually, no, it's gonna consume that. Never mind, my bad. Uh, but we could get some sort of retest and then we can go long. Cause if we do close like this, then we just have our wedge again. Let me draw that in. Right, then we have another wedge. And then that would allow us to flag out. And we could be looking at a move to 72K based on the 1 hour. So yeah. So we are 4 for 4 with our Bitcoin scalp longs. I don't know if we're going to get, or if we're gonna go 5 for 5. Excuse me, but we can try. Uh, we can try it definitely. Uh, so I'm just gonna wait for the prime opportunity before we do any sort of scalping. And if there's no trade to be made today, then there's no trade to be made today. Spouse says I have to go back to work. If I don't see it, I am following. All right. Thank you for the vote of confidence, Shell. I mean, I hope you were able to follow a couple of them because um, the ones pre-January, like when I was traveling and when I started with Shark Prime, they've been actually very profitable. I've already 100 doubled my account since October when I started with Shark Prime, and I gave all of those trades to you guys. And then of course we have been scalping for the past couple days. Um, but yeah, I will say that I will get back to swinging soon once I'm a little bit more certain with where we want to go in the market, for sure. So that you don't have to stare at the screen and your lovely spouse doesn't have to call you back to work. But yeah, happy spouse, happy house, as they say. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who says it, but it's rather than saying happy wife, happy life, happy house, happy spouse, happy house. Yeah, giving the husbands a little. You're very welcome. Oh dear, it's so funny that I'm saying this. I'm not even married yet. Good morning, little fish. Yeah. One of these days, little fish, you're gonna have to graduate to whale because you are going to make tons of gains. So you're gonna have to graduate into whale instead of little fish. All right, 2 seconds on the close. So we did basically get that FVG. Uh, let's see. So we got sort of an indecision candle. We did stay within the descending wedge. So what I think we might do is go back. I don't know actually. We could go back down, do a very quick scalp, something like this below the point of control, and then aim back for the 618. I think that's very much possible. So this is so far just an idea. I'm not seeing a good reason, but I do want to we could potentially just go market rather than doing some sort of entry. Now this is below the discount on the 5 minutes, but I don't think we should go here just yet. So I'll just leave that idea for now, but I will watch it because actually I'm not sure. Sorry, because I do think the 1 hour wants to go oversold, or we want to see an interaction between the MVP ribbon and the Fluid Zero line. So I think we'll wait for that, and potentially we'll get that an hour from now, which is when we end the stream. But I could send a signal to just go market after an hour because that might be how the market wants to play today. Man, what is the upgrade to a shell though? Because orange shells just like they just come in different sizes, right? Small shell, you could just be big shell or colossal shell. Or if you play Pokemon, you go from like a oh my goodness, what are man? I'm young enough to know to have played Pokemon, but I'm too old to remember what the names are now. That's terrible. I used to remember, or I used to memorize all 700 of. Actually, not even 700 anymore, right? They're like 1,000. Conch shell. My goodness. For context, if you guys see my mouth open, it's because I'm also doing Duolingo while doing this. It's very funny. Yeah. Oh dear, I forgot to do it earlier. All right, I finished the class. Yeah, I do think we are go. I mean, we really do have to drip down, right? You weren't here earlier, little fish, but there was just too much leverage and liquidations to from the downside, so the longs just outweigh the shorts, and we are going to see a drip down. I do think we get a drip down. However, as long as we stay in this channel, I do think we should be fine. So let me zoom out, right, and then let's hide these indicators, right? I mean, we've just been trading in this channel, right? The V-shaped recovery we were hoping for didn't come to fruition, but the market is moving in this channel. Now, this could have easily been a triple top slanted and we break to the downside, but the thing is, we got a bounce on the bottom trend line, which shows you that there is strength along this channel. We are following this descending channel. The algorithm thinks that this is fair value. Now, you can see that we broke to the top part of that channel, right? But we currently don't have enough strength to stay above it. We didn't even get a successful retest, right? Because when you break above channels, you want a nice explosive move, then a retest. But we didn't get that nice explosive move. Instead, we got a fart back down. So I do think we're going to test some supports now. So we're going to test this line of support, down to this line of support. But what is true is that we do have lines of support now because we got this massive macro support, right? And that was our initial support. We started capitulating, but now we have this bottom trend line acting as support. We have we start with it starts over here technically, which is basically the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders, which we are currently fighting right now tooth and nail to keep it alive, right? We are fighting to keep that alive. If we do fall below that, we do have another line of support, which is this one. Then below that, another line of support. Then another line of support and the median line and the bottom trend line. Then if we turn on our indicators, we'll have more supports, such as your 618. Oh, I didn't mean to draw. Such as your 618, previous week low, previous day low, actual support, prime block, and whale support too. Now, I am worried, or this did form earlier, but the thing is, it's technically now come to effect. So how you look at divergences, or what I've learned is that if I get a bearish divergence and the ribbon twists to red, that means the divergence has played out. I shouldn't necessarily consider that too much. But if I get, for example, a hidden bearish div and it hasn't played out yet, so just the green part, that's when I think, okay, I should listen to that hidden bearish div and go short, right? Same thing here. If I get a hidden bullish div but it's still red, that means it's invalidated or it hasn't played out yet. So I shouldn't do anything. Same here. So that's how you should be looking at, or that's how I look at divergences, and for me that's come to great effect, or very, very reliable way of looking at divergences. Hey Tekwo, welcome. In and out, nice. Oh, no way. So Saudade, do you know Korean? Okay, for context, my girl's half Korean, and she is a Korean citizen, so that's cool. So I still don't have time to learn Korean because I'm studying for my law entrance exam, which is actually on Sunday. So right after this stream, I'm jumping on the books. Doing I did pretty well on English, abstract reasoning, and math. So I just need to work on like critical thinking and a few other things. I think general knowledge as well, because they ask stuff about pop culture and I have no clue what they're talking about. But yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. Where in Korea? Are you in like this Seoul, uh, Busan, Ansan? I see. It's very nice. I've only been to Korea once, and I've only damn I only went there as a tourist too, so kind of shallow actually. So I went to Seoul and then took what was it, a van? Yeah, I took a van down to Jeju Island as well. Yeah, 65921. Actually, where is 65921? Well, you are below the dynamic reactor here on the 1 hour, and this is a bullish cross, so I think you should be fine. Uh, Granted, you are on an FVG, so there is an incentive to go back down to your entry. It could be a wick, so I'd just be careful, Tekwo. But you should be up in a ton of profits right now, so uh, the question is though, will we ever go back to 65921? It's possible, right? But with this rejection, I do think it's possible. I mean, we're failing this descending wedge right now. Granted, I mean, if you do this and then do that, you could say, "Oh yeah, you're still in a wedge," but we gotta be honest with how we draw our trend lines. Otherwise, it's not gonna make sense. Uh, so what I would do, I'd lock in some more profits. Yeah, lock in some more profits. Yeah, that's really cool. Okay. But yeah, let's just wait this out. I think we'll be able to trade a little better by in 21 minutes, or just the scalp that we want to go. Yeah, it's on Sunday. Although it's at 7:30 a.m. Sunday GMT plus 8, so I guess if you're in the Western Hemisphere, that's still Saturday evening. Yeah, that's late Saturday evening. That's like 6. That's like 6:30 p.m. EST. Yeah, 6:30 p.m. EST on a Saturday. Yeah, nice, Tekwo. I would wait. So you have your long over here. There is no reason to worry yet, right? I mean, if it starts here and then breaks below this, then I would just close at that point. But right now, there's no reason to worry, I would say. But yeah, scalp the short if you want to. Core PPI tomorrow. Well, it's a good thing I am live streaming tomorrow. But yeah. Actually, maybe I should. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh, I was on mute. Terrible. Anyways, I was saying that I have a very thick book over here. This is the reviewer. It's nice and portable though. So, um, English and abstract reasoning. I got a line of nine first go, so that was pretty decent. Quantitative reasoning, so math. For some reason, they don't give you enough time for math, and they don't let you use calculators. So I still got line of eight, which is good. But everything, well, not everything else, but like critical thinking, I got mid 70s, and I was just like, okay, that's not good enough. So gotta review that. But yeah, Atom. All right, let's have a look at Atom. Funnily enough, I have a friend named Atom, so I don't know. It's very fun. Okay, yeah, this is the Korean stock I was looking at. Uh, it, yeah. I yeah, I had TOK, theory of knowledge, which was more of critical thinking back when I was in like the IB diploma program for high schoolers. But uh, I don't know. I think I just have to review, brush up on it a little more. Oh wait, that 5 minute looked pretty good. So it is in a falling wedge. Yeah. Ooh, it's also on a falling wedge on the 1 hour. Like an insane falling wedge. We might have to look at this more macro, actually. So let me pull up the 12 hours, see what we can do. I mean, hidden bullish div starting here, but you did get rejected off your quantum reactor. Notice how your MVP ribbon still has room to move down, right? Right. It is there are bottoming bars forming, but then it hasn't bottomed yet. It's just starting. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing that. It's just starting to bottom. Oh, you guys can tell I'm tired. I still don't know why my exam time's at 7:30 a.m. Like, who in their right mind would do that? For college people. For professional schools. Anyways, so I do think that we should set alerts at the previous month low. I think there's an incentive to go down, especially if Bitcoin and the other coins are going down. What I'm worried about is sort of this wick right here, right? Because this point right here is liquidity. Most people have their stop losses set there. So in theory, you could go back down and fill this wick, and you do fill about 70 to 90% of this wick if it's really long. So if you're at 9%, you do 70% of 9%. You're looking at about 6.3 ish percent. So anywhere from here Yeah, quick maths. Gotta practice. No calculator needed. I don't know if I'm even right. Yeah, well, one trick we've that I'm just doing is just going for the number that's close enough to the thing, right? Because there's no calculator. So just mental math, close enough. Okay, hope for the best. But yeah. Oh, I don't know why. But yeah. Okay. So this range right here are areas of interest for me. It is at the prime block. I do think you could go down and wick into the discount itself. So if you're very much interested in Atom, I do think it's going to break below that. You're going to have a measured move target down here for sure. I would set longs here. All right. I would probably watch Bitcoin though, see what it's doing, and I would set a long. Okay, so 4 hour, we did touch that FEG, right? We did go for it. Let's see how far we can go. Let's actually pull up the liquidation leverage, and I did say that we were going to have some downside. But yeah, quick, just I mean, you guys saw this earlier, right? At least for the ones that were here, that was Shell and Jayton. The longs outdid the shorts crazily, but in just a few moments, the shorts are now outweighing the longs, and we could go down to the end of this cluster at about 66,000. But again, this is what's going to give rise to volatility and for a move to the upside, right? Because you have basically a gap that wants to be filled. A lot of people are just giga shorting right now. They're just basically doing dick measuring contests at the moment and just aping in both sides. So I think longs are getting wiped out, and then we could probably take a small long to wipe out the shorts if the market is so keen on giving us that opportunity. Now, of course, we can make our own opportunity and just market short right here, right now, hope for the best. But I kind of don't want to do that. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, it is dropping, so the coins are untethering themselves from Bitcoin. I'd just be a little worried about the fact that you are nearly overextended. Looking at USDT.D, so USDT dominance, we bounced off this point, right? We got that was technically, you could consider that a retest. It's not a full retest. Now the question is, USDT.D is now at an FEG. It's at a point where it could reverse back. So now we gotta watch this. So if I were you, right, to determine where we're headed next, I just set an alert by the chick magnet. If it goes up, we're still going down, and then if it breaks below the wick here, then we're going to go up for the rest of the crypto market. Plain and simple. Okay, I think we can take a scalp short, or maybe even a swing on XAUT. Let's do 1 hour, 12 hour. Yeah, that looks shortable. I don't know about you, but that looks very shortable. That's not a right word, I don't think. But yeah, we can probably do something like over here. Stop loss above that. Take your profit by the measure move. One to two. Oh, and it's technically already there. You know what? I'll just leave this as an idea first. I'll see if we bounce up, or maybe even get a nicer entry. But for now, let's just leave that as an idea, because I mean it looks pretty good, but we need a little bit more confirmation, a little bit more time to let that idea stew. Looking at okay, so discount 5 minutes. Again, I'm waiting for this 1R to go oversold. If it does, then we can take a scalp long. Damn. Maybe I really should have just opened short. Just like the moment Jayton Shell came here, I was like, alright, let's short it. And then the scalp would be over. But life is not. Well, I didn't take the lemons was giving me. Or life was giving me? Life is giving. No. Okay. Don't want to think. I'll take a nap after this and refresh my brain. Yeah. Alright, actually, let me pull back or pull up the. Yeah, there's now 2 billion cumulative short liquidations and less than a billion long liquidations on the 1 day. So if you're a contrarian just like me, this is like an this is it's not like it is an opportunity to go long. Now we are seeing sort of a drop in money inflow, right? It is decreasing visually, not good for our purposes, but if this goes oversold and this sort of flattens out, it could still head back up. Now, core PPI, like Little Fish said, is coming out tomorrow, so we could be looking at that as well. But we are approaching our first point of support, seeing if it will hold. Mm, that 5 minute candle is disappointing. wonder if I. Okay, let's go back to Ethereum. You know what? I think we can go for Ethereum here. So I'll scalp Ethereum today. Open that position. Stop loss here. And then if you know high volume node theory or high volume profile theory, right? Then if you have a large gap like this, you're likely to go back up. So I'll just set the thing there. Don't go up until you've touched this FVG, please. But yeah, this is the official scalp for the day. I'll just wait for it. So probably looking at about 20x lev, maybe 25x lev on this, and then yeah. Okay. Let me go post about it on channel. Oh, don't tell me Ethereum's already flown. Is Bitcoin flown? That'd be annoying if it did. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Filtration. Da, da, da. Three. Oversold. As support. Oversold. Bottomed out. Full TP at okay. Add crypto signal. There you go. Yeah. That's a trade. So let's just see if it plays out. And yeah, hopefully it does. I mean, if it just wicks there next candle, that would be fantastic as well. If not, then we've missed it. Alrighty, it is 11:30, so there's still 30 minutes on the show. If you guys have any questions or any coins you want me to look at or any indicators that you have questions with, just let me know. Right? I'm not gonna bite, and yeah, great opportunity to just ask questions. About how long is the trade? I mean, last night. Okay, last night. Yesterday's trade literally took from 11:17 to I think 12. So it was well within 2 hours. This trade probably anywhere from 2 to 5 hours, uh, depending on market conditions, right? Because the trade before last, so the second winning trade we did, that took about almost 6 hours, I think, because it full TP after I fell asleep. So yeah, definitely within 12 hours. Nothing. Oh no, let's say within 6 hours. Nothing longer than six. Yeah, we don't want it to go past market close. If it reaches first TP first, then it's canceled. So, first TP 2036. Let's put a horizontal ray. If it reaches 2036 first, then we're not trading it, because that means we this was where we were supposed to enter, not here. Okay, so our entry. This might just kill our entry, but we'll see. Um, we tap the 1R FVG on Ethereum, right? We should get a bounce. We did put our stop loss way below resistance. Um, don't risk too much on this trade for sure. I think I definitely said that in the signal call, not to risk too much. I wonder if we can go 5 for 5. Oh, it is rough. Yeah. Yeah, I had a look at um like Nasdaq. Could, damn it. It looks like a positive earnings sell-off. It's like anything that Nvidia earnings did yesterday, just just gone, just sold off. Yeah, uh, the channel is a form of support for sure, but you're just going to have to double check with the CPO plus. So so far, our long seems to be doing okay for Ethereum. I wonder if we can get a stronger bounce. Of course, if we get to the first take profit, that's a win right there. Uh, Now let me remove this because this is a circle. And if we get to the first take profit, I'm going to study soundly and not have to worry about the scalp I did. Okay. Power. That's a crypto or a stock? Okay. Never heard of it, but it seems to be. What is this? What? I don't want to touch it. I'm sorry. I'm little. I'm sorry, little fish. It looks good, but I don't want to touch it. I'm not touching this. Look, there's like zero volume here. There's no orders at all. There's no orders right here. So somehow these guys pushed it all the way up. There's no orders, right? This is gonna fall back down to like 0.9. I know. There are no orders. Right? The volume profile tells you levels where people ordered, and even if some levels have low orders, you'll see like some histogram, right? But then there's nothing here. It's just a flat. No one traded here. People only traded here. Right? Let's look at Bitcoin as an example. Right? If you go to the 4 hour, you see that there's still histograms, right? Even here, right? There's very few spots where it says people haven't traded. You look at this and it's just a thin line. It is so skinny. It's malnourished. It's actually malnourished. What is this? I don't. I'm not. Oh, I use bar magnified volume profile fixed range by ChartPrem. So, uh, I like this one a lot. So compared to, because I come from the traditional visible range volume profile, right? Uh, but I was looking at the library and I found this, and this for me is a lot like the visible range volume profile coming from TradingView. But what I like about it is that it sort of blends in the fixed range part. So you can actually just fix how many candles you want to look at. So I've set it to 200 candles. Yeah. Um, that's a good question. So there are a couple things you want to look at, right? Of course, your oscillator, your chart prime oscillator is one of them for sure. You also want to look at your momentum. So, uh, what would the best way to demonstrate this be? So you got to look at two isolated things. So let's go back to Bitcoin. Um, let's do 1 hour, so it makes, or 30 minutes, just so we get a nicer sense of what's going on. So this is the inverted head and shoulders. So we're looking strictly at this point, right? Let me turn off our indicators here. I'll leave trend classifier on, but essentially what you can see here, right? When we got to this point, we did get a bearish divergence. But remember what I said about the bearish divergence isn't playing out until you've twisted. So when we got to this point at the bearish divergence, we can see that the candle here is an indecision candle. So it's not a topping candle, it's not a bottoming candle, it's an indecision candle. You have wicks on both sides, a body, and then a wick as well, which means that the next candle usually dictates the true move in the market. On top of that, at this point in time, notice your MVP ribbon was still blue, meaning that there is still strong buy orders pushing price up, even if in terms of strength it's slowing down. So you get to this point, and even when you got that twist in action, right, and the reversal triangle, your momentum wasn't transitioning just yet. It was still saying it's going up. So you're pushing up, you're pushing up. Now, right, this is where you get an idea. You got some sort of topping candle. This right here, not a great topping candle, but it is a topping candle. Longer wick, body, a small wick, right? That's a topping candle right there. But even better is the fact that just a few seconds, this is 30 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 hours later, you got a clear topping candle with a very long wick, small body, right? And then you started moving down. And you can see that this right here coincides with that twist in momentum. So the strength is already turning bearish. Bearish order or sell orders are coming into the market, but it took there's a lag between the momentum shift between the orders coming in and the algorithm being able to put those orders onto the charts. So yeah, I hope that helps explain it. Other ways you can look at it without your oscillator and price action, have a look at the lower time frames. It is as simple as looking at the lower time frames, seeing if you're getting any topping moves. Now, the downside of that is that you could be, or what could happen is you get too caught up in the noise. That would suck, right? But if you're losing your dynamic reactors and your quantum reactor on lower time frames, then you're very likely going to lose, or you're going to start losing traction on the higher time frame. So I'm gonna mark this vertical line. Let's go to the 5 minutes, see where this vertical line lies, right? And let's see how our reactors look at this point. Come on, load. Okay, so you can see we are still bullish at this point, but notice how when we got to the dump, CPO plus did print peak buy signal, but we are losing the levels. We are losing our reactors. We are losing our moving average. We got above it, we lost it. We got above it, we lost it. We got here, we lost it completely. We got confirmation right here. We started losing this. We came back up. We started losing, right? The moment we turned red, it said this right here is your point of shorting, and you shorted. So there are a lot of different ways. For me, the most reliable is going to be looking at price action and your oscillators. So you want strength as well as momentum on your side. If you're starting to lose strength and strength is moving down and momentum starting to shift, that is a very good or high probability setup to trade contrary to how the market's moving. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. Oh, hey, Portia. Love the name. Would love to. Actually, I don't know why. Because we sort of it's not settled, but we decided going with a Benz and a Land Rover. But a Porsche would be great. It would be great. Actually, do I still have the key? Oh shit. Fruit. I have to bring down the key. Got the Land Rover key. Oof. Okay. Okay, gotta bring that down later. So we still have 15 minutes on the clock. How did the 15 minutes close actually? Okay. Well, pretty good. I mean, not spectacular, but it is pretty good. I don't like that there's no wick, but the 15 minutes is oversold. How's our ETH long going? Okay. Ah, so close. That is so close. That is so close. ETH can do it. Please. Please do it, ETH. Yeah. Alright, if anyone else has any questions, just leave them in chat. I will just quickly use the restroom. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Looks like we're pushing up to the uh oh no way. There's a oh, the names are so funny. And Mercedes has a dog for a profile picture. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. Uh, I know you guys. The usernames just fill me up with joy. Thank you guys so much. This literally made my day. Porsche and Mercedes next to each other and a dog. Absolutely lovely. Well, welcome guys. So we are on this ETH long. I did call it on my signals channel. So it's a scalp. All right, we just hit it. So I will now announce to put your first take profit to break even. Um, that was a nice love tap right there. That's all it needs. ETH long update. Okay, perfect. But yeah, there's still 10 minutes on the show. So literally, if there are any, what's this? if there are any follow-up questions or things you'd like to know or ask for me, ask away. Yeah, you guys have me for another 10 minutes. Yeah. Doesn't even have to be trading related. I mean, we can just have a nice, fun conversation. Okay. Oh yeah, this this stream is being recorded, so I'll be able to post this, uh, well, hopefully within the hour, because I still minimize the file size to make it easier for YouTube to upload and for you guys to be able to stream it quicker. The only reason why it took a while for the last stream to get uploaded is that I'd passed out last night, but not before I announced the take profit or full take profit, which is cool. But yeah, so Jayden, if you ever sort of need a refresher in what I look for, the recording's there, or it will be there. So yeah, still got 8 minutes. I guess what we can look at right now, USDT.D. So we did touch the FEG, right? We are getting a long wick. So if we close with a very long wick, small body, even if it's green, that with your CPO plus and your MVP ribbon like this, you're going to look for a downside continuation, which will allow your actual coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, to breathe for the next week or so. What I am worried about from a historical perspective is that the first week of March typically leads to a rally, and typically, like I showed you guys, it is a fairly violent rally, 27%. But after that, you capitulate all the way down, and from all-time highs, you lose up to 70%. So it's another 30-40% drop from there. And so I will be looking out for the March 1 historical point, right? And then we could potentially see a mass capitulation, the likes we've seen before, but a lot of people have not seen before or have decided to ignore or forget, and they go, "Oh no, crypto's over. Bitcoin's going to zero. Oh, fake shit. It's an Epstein coin." Yeah, so I don't know. Well, we'll just have to watch out for that. Let's go back to our darling Ethereum. Not really pushing up further, so it's a good thing. We've set that as our as our first take profit. Let's look at how it smacked it. Yep, hit the 618 perfectly, and now it's sort of in between the 0.5 and the 618. If we can get above this point, then we could get something along the lines of a 786 move, potentially even up to the point of interest, right? But we'll have to see. Oh, did I do? Oh man, I deleted my. Okay, that's not what I. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I will monitor this, and of course, I am up until. Wait, it's if it's 9:30, that will be 8:30. No, 9. So that's 8 plus 5, 4, 1 a.m. EST. Yeah. Oh no, 1 p.m. EST, not 1 a.m. 1 p.m. EST. Hey, Hugh Hector, welcome. Welcome. It's been a while. You're kind of late to the show, but I do appreciate you dropping by. There's still 5 minutes on the show, so if you have any questions, just let me know. 1 minute left before the show ends. Looks like, I mean, if we can close above or even 75% of the last candle, we should get a continuation back up. And I'm also curious how this 1R is going to close. If it curves, then likelihood is you are going to head up. Leaving a big wick like this kind of spells liquidity hunt more than anything, right? You literally just wicked off the FVG on the 1 hour. All right, so we got our close. Not an ideal close, and we didn't go oversold. Uh, but I'll continue to monitor this. Right, we are getting that transition here, so that does give me confidence. I'll let you guys know what else I think, and we do have another stream tomorrow, same time, 9:30 a.m. EST, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me, and once again, I am Langstrom, and always use a stop loss. Thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.